What's up, guys? It's Daz here. But you don't really care, as you might be confused about whereabouts we are. Well, maybe not, because you can probably see it in the title of the video. Anyway, we are in the Hateno Region. That's because I want to take on all of the shrines in this area, because we didn't do it last time we were here, mainly because we couldn't actually reach Mount Lanayru because it was really cold. But now that we have the Rito armor, we're going to go through and collect everything. I've marked with stars where all of the shrines are. So, we're going to go from the southernmost point and make our way north. Somewhat, we're going to do a bit of a detour to do a certain one last. But anyway, the first place we're going to is Tenoko Island. Let's go. If I don't get really stuck on the tower. Now let's go. Now, obviously, the shrine is in the middle of the ocean. You can see it quite clearly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Rivali's Gale and then paraglide over with all the stamina I've got. Alternatives you can do are just try and get closer to like the cliffs by maybe going to the east, or using a raft and a Korok leaf, or using the motorboat technique, which is where you get a massive weapon that can hook around the main pole, and you use magnesis to push against it, which makes it somehow move like a motorboat. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but it works. Though it only really seems to work with things like battle axes, because when I try with like long swords, it just goes around, or maybe I'm just not good at the technique. Either way, that's why I'm getting to the island. Let's go. The Chas Sunlight Shrine. Quetta Shrine. There we go. A major test of strength. Of course it is. Well, if you've seen any of the other shrine videos, you know the routine. There are like 20 odd of these, so we're just going to skip on through it. What does this guy have? Give us that music. And he's not even got a shield. Let's do this. Ooh, climbing gear. That's actually a really good item because it's armor. I'll take that. I like climbing gear. Plus, climbing is like the thing I complain about, so speed it up. Yeah. Alright, now that that's over and it's starting to rain, I guess I better travel on out of here. We are going next to the eastern part of Mount Lanayru, or at least just the Lanayru range, because we already got the one in Hateno Village. What a surprise! What you want to be looking for is this clump of trees, both on the map and in reality, as reality as it can get, at least in this game. What you're looking for is, once you're in these trees, a dip in the wall where it is a breakable rock inside. Inside there will obviously be your shrine. Let's break it. The Tano Oa Shrine. And, wow, this one's going to be nice and quick too. This is just a blessing for finding the place. This may be attached to the shrine quest where you need to line up the trees, but I could be wrong on that, so excuse me if I'm wrong. Climbing boots too. I'd almost recommend actually going for these shrines while you can when you first come to Hateno Village, since they give you the climber's helm, or bandana even, on the way to this place in between the Dueling Peaks mountains. So that could be an option, especially since we haven't hit any super hardcore cold stuff yet, but I didn't want to go on a detour in the actual series, which is why we're doing it now. Anyway, we're fully equipped to climb super fast. I'll take it. And I might actually use those climbing trousers, boots, whatever they were, simply because they give you a speed boost, and they're going to be the few occasions where I actually like to wear pants in the series. Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? And then again, actually, it is pretty cold here, so maybe that's not the best recommendation. Anyway, next up, we're going to go far off to the west by the Robred drop-off, just north of the main path, just a little bit into Fort Hateno. Now, this shrine is hidden away and is definitely connected to one of the shrine quests. We actually accidentally opened this as part of the series. It is opened by either going to the diary or just talking to the guy in the hut right in Fort Hateno. So you may have talked to the guy yourself. He's also just happens to be here, so see what he says.
When a dark light resides in the cursed statue's eyes, pierce its gaze to purge the seal from the shrine. I've been pondering the dark light mentioned here for some time, and I must admit I'm stumped. Light can't be dark, obviously, unless... Whoops, can't go divulging in my research before I publish now, can I?
Yeah, Khalip. So what we need to do is we need to wait until the light is darkness. What that probably means is shadows, or at the very very least, nighttime. So I'm going to set up a campfire and come back here at nighttime. And what do you know? One of them's got glowing eyes, so we can pierce the gaze. Because it's a demon, obviously, or something. And that completes the cursed statue. Now, I was going to talk to Khalip after the shrine popped up, but because it's nighttime, he decided to go home, I guess. So, oh well. Anyway, the Cam Urog Shrine. And hey, look, it's actually a shrine for us. The Trial of Passage. You may have actually seen this being demoed off at E3. Maybe not as an actual demo to play, but at least on the live streams. Anyway, it's basically just one really slow washing machine, or I guess more accurately, a tumble dryer, I guess, because it's pretty dry. Anyway, there's a handful of chests to get, and obviously the path you need to make by using stasis on the gears to stop the cycle of movement. Also, do be careful of these spiky balls, which definitely make me think of a tumble dryer, actually, because you can get spiky balls that apparently get rid of creases in clothing. Haven't used those in ages, because I'm poor and I don't get a tumble dryer anymore. Anyway, let's go and make some progress. I'm going to speed things up till we get to points where we can actually do something. So first things first, there is a treasure chest on one of these spinning platforms, so if we wait for it to be at the right angle and freeze it, we can go get it. Lovely. Okay, next up on the agenda, we need to get up on higher path again. Now that we're up to the top, you will see that there is a path that gets us way up to the top. Also, there's these lasers here for some reason, I guess to stop you flying there or something. I'm not certain. There's another chest in the hole in the center of the place. We entered from the bottom, we exit through the top, and in the center is a treasure chest. So I'm just going to fly on down from here, though you could have very easily done it from the gear in the middle. Great. All that for Opal. Typical. Anyway, now we're going to go up to the top of the path again. Back we are again, and all we need to do now is wait for the stairs to complete the path. And there is nothing else to see, I'm pretty sure, so let's go and get to our monk. Right, now that we're done over here, we are next going to go to the center of this spot here, the Lanayru Promenade. The marker's slightly inaccurate. We actually want to be behind the waterfall, but generally we want to go in that region. Let's go. So while you're usually expected to go along the main path along the north of this body of water, we actually just ended up using Rivali's Gale and all that whatnot to fly over the cliffs from the southern end. Now, I know that the shrine is actually behind the waterfall, so what we really want to do is get to that plot of concrete on the west side over here. What you'd otherwise need to be doing is, from the northernmost part, go over a bridge and climb a whole bunch of platforms like you're playing Uncharted or something, and then eventually get to this point here. But since we can just fly on over to it, this is a lot faster and easier. So let's just follow the path behind the waterfall. The Dao Nai Shrine. Nae? Nae. Dao Nae Shrine. 3 boxes. This is pretty simple, I would say. So there is a massive switch in the middle of the room, and you want to make it go down to eventually open the last thing we want to do. Now, something to note is there are 3 treasure chests in the place. 1 underground, 1 underwater, 1 on a moving platform, and 1 up high on a shelf. The first one, also I'm going to put them on the switch, just to be efficient. The first one is Opal, of course. Cool. The second one on the platform is amber, and we're also going to put that on the switch. And the third one, which we have to break down using arrows, is a Zora sword. Interesting. Nice foreshadowing there, I guess. Anyway, we need to now put those 3 chests onto the main switch. And that unleashes us a giant block to use to get up to the bunk. Like so. Easy? I think so. Let's go. Alrighty, that's nice and simply done. Right, now that we're done with that, we are not going to go to the very peak of Mount Lanayru because I want to do that last. So instead we're going to go to the northernmost peak, almost directly over to the Lanayru Tower. Let's fly. Now this place is in the middle of nowhere pretty much on this northern peak, and there is Cass playing a song.
Oh, pardon me, I didn't think anyone was around. Ah, I knew we'd meet again, though I never imagined it would be here. I know a song about this place. Would you like to hear the ancient verse passed down in this region?
Let's hear it.
Excellent. Without further ado. I suppose the lush green could refer to this place, but what sort of beast wears a crown of bone? There's definitely a secret hiding here, but it's beyond me. May the light illuminate your path.
The Crowned Beast. Now this one actually took me a while, because when I think, hey, wearing bone, I immediately jump to the Hinox. They wear a necklace of bone, but we're looking for a crown of bone, so we actually want to be looking for a deer? A buck. A buck. With the crown actually being its antlers. How this mechanically works, I've no idea, but he looks just as confused as I do.
I get it now. The crown of bone refers to antlers, of course. That's a mountain buck. Those majestic creatures are a bit like the kings of the forest, aren't they? Your exploits here could be their own heroic song, you know. Take care, and may the light illuminate your path.
Alright, let's go to our shrine right by the tree. I like the location of it. It looks quite nice, like, I don't know, just the positioning. Looks like it could be a painting or something. The Meza Low Shrine. Ancient Trifecta. Okay, so this one is a little bit tricky. I kind of took it for granted how it works, but it's pretty basic in mechanic. There is a main switch here. If you hit it, a platform moves in a circle, or I guess really in a square. You need to use that to get around the whole place and eventually hopefully open the gate and all that fun stuff. The main tricky part here is you need to make a way to do all the things at once whilst also being able to like hit the switch when you're nowhere near the switch. What do you know? You have bombs, they're probably what you want to do. So first things first, you want to grab this big old block and prepare it for later. You'll see though it actually has a laser beam. So one thing you can do if you want to is use that to inexplicably hit the switch, but I don't really end up using it. In fact, I'm not really sure what the main reason of the ladder is, the block is at all. I guess the block could be used as an extra platform now I think about it. Oh well. Anyway, wow, that cube did not work. Anyway, move the platform with you on it eventually so you can get to this chest here. It's a nice Thunderblade. Attack up 16. Wow. Do you usually get that early? Wow, that's really good. Then use the platform to get to the next bit if you don't mess up like I did. Hitting the switch opens the main gate, so you want to keep something on top of it. Hey look, there's a block for us, except it's a little out of reach. Damn it. There we go. Now that that's not quite on properly either. Right, now that the box has been fixed, the gate is always open. We want to hit the switch one more time to get the platform over to the monk. I tried to be snazzy and actually throw items at it. Nothing really worked. So what you really want to do is use bombs. 2 of them, but you don't want them to explode each other. So I had one down right next to the switch and one up in the little shelf cliff thing. So now with that all set up, at the very end you had one bomb hitting the switch to get one mode of motion. You use an arrow to get to the second mode of motion. And then you switch to your other bomb, which hasn't been exploded by the first blom, to blow up the third point of motion. And then you can get to your monk. And here's the flame spear I got rid of for the chest. And now that we're done with all of the other shrines, it's time to take on the final one at the very peak of Mount Lanayru. It's going to give us a little bit of an adventure, not much, but a little bit. It's a little bit more story-based. So let's get going. I wanted to save the best for last. As we're coming closer to the peak, you might be able to see kind of what's going on. Something.
You have done well to find your way to this spring. You have overcome numerous trials and obtained the spirit orbs. The one you see before you is an attendant to the Spring of Wisdom. This is Naedra, the blue spirit of Lanayru. This servant of the goddess has looked over the spirits of this land for ages, unknown to the world of man. However, the dreaded malice unleashed by Calamity Ganon has possessed its body and reduced it to this state. You who have received the spirit orbs, free Naedra from this malice. Show what your power can achieve.
There are 3 main eyes on Naedra's body. You got the head, you got the tail, and you've got the main body bit. I'm going to go for that one because no one ever goes for that one because it's kind of hidden. They all create the same reaction. Now what we want to do is we want to chase after Naedra. The malice has not fully gone. In case you're wondering, by the way, the malice is what I've been calling the Black Mog, because I kind of like that name too. I might just switch between the two. What we need to do now is get to the peak of Mount Lanayru and follow him, because he's going to be circling up the peak until we hit him again. I think that's how it works. Either way, he's got a lot more eyeballs that we need to take down. Though, as a recommendation, don't do this. Right, next, now that we're up high again, I'm gonna try and go for the one on his head, since it's nearby. Lovely. There are little ones on his eyes, but I don't think you need to really hit those ones. It's only the big ones, because the big ones will get rid of all the little ones as well. There are mainly just 3 main checkpoints on the boss we want to take on. If you can really call it a boss. It's not really attacking us back. Anyway, now that he's down to one last eyeball, he's going to go to one more location. So let's see if we can chase him. There we go. And boom.
Thanks to your efforts, Naedra, the spirit of Mount Lanayru, has been freed from the grips of an evil power. But a single ceremony remains. Now, loose your arrow through the body of Naedra to free the spirit of this region.
With a nice Japanese kind of sounding song, we now need to hit Naedra to unleash its scale. This is some some ceremony for something, but, you know, it's nice.
That is the spirit Nadra's scale. It fell when your arrow struck. It serves as proof of the courage you received from the one who served the spring since ancient times. Come, offer a scale from the blue spirit Nadra to the spring of wisdom.
Okay, so now all we need to do is grab the scale and throw it into the spring of wisdom.
Your path has shown itself. Now go forth.
Well, don't mind if I do. Unfortunately, you can't keep that scale, but we can always get some later. We will be coming back to dealing with dragons. By the way, welcome to the Jitan Sami Shrine. But we're not going to deal with the dragons quite yet. They are going to be quite vital for something we want to do in the future, but I will do that in the future. Pretty much right near the end of the series, I'm afraid. But hey, if you want to see more of them, there is more to come. Oh, we got 666 on there and 332. Gosh, everything's rounding up. Anyway, as you can imagine, this is going to be a blessing shrine. And what does it give us? A frost spear. Not as good as the satisfaction of saving, you know, Nadra, but I'll take it anyway. And now, of course, now that we've defeated / completed all 7 shrines in the region, we're going to go cash it in for a whole one upgrade. It's a bit of a tease that this is the most effort we could do for only one, but oh well. We want a stamina vessel because last time we ended with a heart container, so let it be.
Go and bring peace to Hyrule.
I sure will. But before I do, I need to collect everything else in this region. So next time, we're going to take on all of the Koroks and all of the treasures in the region. The side quests we've already done, and there is no memory in this region, as is the same with the Hebrew region we did last time. So, I'm afraid that's what we're going to do next. So for now, oh, look at that. My name's been Daz. You didn't really care. And I will see you in a bit. Dancing through the lush green, mount the beast upon its throne, for only then. The shrine is seen. Not quite, but it's better.